Hi, it's Mark from Limo Marketer, and in today's video I want to talk about how we get our clients ranked on page 1 of Google and go over the Limo Marketer SEO strategy. So the whole idea behind having an organic SEO strategy is to increase the number of bookings that you're generating, and how we do that is by increasing traffic to those pages by ranking them high on the first page of Google. This will also help you enhance your reputation in your city, as you'll be one of the prominent listings on the top of Google. It's going to help you drive more leads, more phone calls, and again, more bookings. And this also can help you increase the amount of repeat business and referral business you're driving to your website. So the typical search engine optimization build out for a limo or transportation industry website needs to have certain things, and most of the websites I see do not have these things. First off, you're going to need to have pages for the different services that you offer. So for instance, if you offer wedding limo services, you want to have a wedding limo services page. If you offer quinceañera limo services, you want to have a quinceañera services page. And you also are going to want to have pages for all of the different cities. And what I mean by that is many websites I see, they're just trying to optimize for the main city they're in. Well, that's always going to be the most competitive city to rank for. So really what you want to be doing to achieve the maximum number of visitors to your website is you want to have pages for sub-cities. Sub-cities are typically not targeted as highly as these large cities that everyone's competing for. And so what you do is just build out a lot of pages for the sub-cities, and I'll go into that a little bit deeper a little bit later on. Next, you need to have the proper on-page or on-site SEO. These things are like your title tags, your H1 tags. You need to have your pages interlinked together properly. You need to have strong content, lots of content that has the keywords within the content, but things have changed quite a bit in the past 10 years, and you don't want to be keyword stuffing anymore. Search engines have gotten a lot better at getting the meaning from the content without having to spam the keywords over and over again, and that can actually hurt you more than it helps you. And then lastly, and this doesn't help with your actual ranking, but you want to have strong conversion elements on your site, because once you get the visitor to your site, you really want them to be taking action, you want them to be calling, you want them to be booking online, or you want them to be filling out a quote request form. And so if we put the right elements in the right spots, that could get from 1 in 10 people converting to 3 in 10 people converting, which could triple your leads, triple your bookings. Now, the typical limo website I see on the smaller side is 3 pages. Some of the larger ones, 5 to 7 pages. And this just isn't going to be enough to achieve the maximum number of visitors to your website. You really want to have more pages than even 7 pages. And so, again, what you really want to have is pages for the different services and for the different cities, and more importantly, sub-cities that you offer service to. So how do we come up with all of these pages of content? Well, what we first need to do is we need to learn a little bit more about your business. What vehicles do you offer? Do you offer stretch limousines? Do you offer sprinters? Do you offer charter bus rentals? And once we have a very good feel of your business and the different vehicles you have and that you want to push out there, then we can create a keyword list. And so this is a very broad general keyword list for a limo company that has lots of different services, lots of different vehicles. And so you might not have all of these services or vehicles in your fleet, but this should give you a general idea of how we go about creating content for these limousine, for these transportation websites. And so really, the more pages you have, the more opportunity you have to rank for particular keywords. Unfortunately, you can't rank one page for hundreds and hundreds of different keywords. So you definitely want to have different pages with different themes. So your typical limo website is laid out with these 6 pages. This is probably the most common setup I see. Now, we build our sites out very similar, but there's a big caveat, there's a big difference. Under the services and under the vehicles, you're going to have lots and lots of different pages. And this is really how you want it to work, because again, the more pages you have, the more chances you have of ranking for those different cities, those different sub-cities in your market. And so it might look the very same from the home page, but once you start rolling over these services and vehicles links, you're going to see drop downs with lots and lots of different pages. And so once the on page is done, that's when the real fun begins. And I wish we could just do the perfect on page and our site would rank in competitive cities, but unfortunately that just isn't the case. So the real power with search engine optimization always is going to come from link building. And so what you want to be doing is you want to be building quality inbound links that give more authority to your website. So you can think of links like votes, okay? And the site that has the most votes is going to rank the best in the search engines, but not every vote counts the same as another vote. So websites that have a lot of votes going to them from trusted sites are going to rank higher. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find relevant links from sites that are hopefully receiving traffic and have lots of trust and authority, because those links are going to be much more powerful than a link from a website that was just started that doesn't have any links going to it. And so you might ask yourself, well, how do we figure out how to find these links? Well, typically, when you want to achieve a certain result, all you have to do is find someone who's already gotten that result and model their behavior. And that's essentially what we do with SEO. And we call this competitive link acquisition. So what we do is we find the number 1 and number 2 ranked site in your market, and we do an audit of their link profile. Then we just go out and we start trying to acquire those same exact links that that competitor has. Once we have achieved the links they have and then some, typically we are going to be ranking higher than that competitor, especially if we have better content, better on-page optimization. And so that brings me to the next slide. Content is king. Content is incredibly important for SEO. And earlier I talked about all of those different pages that you're going to have for your different vehicles and your different services. So that's one piece of content that we create in the beginning. But you also want to be creating ongoing content through your blog. And what we like to do is post at least one blog post every month to every site that we're doing search engine optimization for, because Google likes to see that your site's being updated, that you're adding fresh content. And so that's a very big piece of the strategy. And the content can be around really anything. We can talk about upcoming events in your area as it relates to transportation. And so there's endless possibilities for content creation. So that brings me to social media. And you always want to have all of the social media icons on your site. You always want to have all of those profiles built out. Now, is that going to get you a ton of new calls and leads? Not really, but there's a few reasons to have a social media presence. One, just like on-page optimization, it's just one of those boxes you need to check to have your overall comprehensive SEO strategy in place. But social media icons on your page, they can help you generate more repeat and referral business. So how this works is a client of yours had a good experience with you. So how do they tell their friends about your company? Well, if you have these share buttons on Facebook, on Instagram, on all these other platforms, it can be very easy for a potential client to share your business and talk about their positive experience. Now, also, you want to develop some sort of program where you incentivize your clients for posting about your business. And so this can all help drive repeat and referral business. And just to give you an idea about how powerful social media is, there are currently over 2.3 billion active social media users right now, since last count. Your average person has 338 friends on Facebook and does multiple check-ins every day. So I can't understate how powerful and important social media can be for your business and is part of an overall comprehensive strategy. Now at Limo Marketer, we only work with one business, one limo or charter bus rental business per city. And the reason for this is our clients were trying to get to the number one position. And so if you've chosen the full package, if you're doing SEO with us, we will only work with you for the particular service you offer. Because again, it's very important that any agency you work with, you always ask them, am I your only SEO client in the city? It's very important because again, you always want to rank in that number one spot and only one business can be there. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more, if you would like to have us do a comprehensive audit of your online marketing strategy, we will look at things like your website, we will look at things like your landing pages, your pay-per-click strategy, your on-page optimization, any link building efforts you currently have. We'll make sure you're tracking conversions, tracking phone calls. Go ahead and give us a call and we can sit down and we can kind of see where you're at and come up with some steps to implement that can double, triple, even quadruple the amount of revenue your business is currently doing with the right SEO pay-per-click strategy in place. So go ahead and give us a call. We are at 855-255-5466, and I look forward to talking to you soon.